Feel free to request up if you want to come up in the box. Anybody? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Oh, you were just trying to tap the screen? No problem. Oh, go ahead. Request back up. I didn't mean to reject you. Request to come back up. So anyhow, so guys, has anyone heard Joe Diddy talking about the lawsuit that I have against him? Has anybody heard him speaking about that? Has he talked to his supporters about the paperwork that the sheriff's department brought him on Sunday? Has he said anything to anybody about it? Anyone know? No, he hasn't said anything. Y'all tap the screen. Tap, tap, tap. So we don't have anybody who want to come up in the box before I start talking. I told you I'd give you an opportunity to come on. I'm on the right time. Y'all tapping the screen. I appreciate it. I know I got supporters in here that's tapping. I see the taps going. I see them going. No, normally we have people coming to come up in the box. So no, you no. Okay, so let's see. Hello, welcome in. Or no?
Me?
Hello? Hello?
Wait, I'm up here?
You are up here. You on the Miss Hilary Sanchez show.
Oh my God. I don't even know how I got up here.
Well, you can say hello at least.
Well, anyway, Hilary, I miss you, first of all, because I remember when you first had TikTok and then you went away for X amount of time. I've been looking for you high and low like the damn FBI. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. I know you. So you're an original person who see me back in 2022.
Yep, I'm from East Hartford, Connecticut, and I know you from Connecticut too, or lived here at one point or whatever.
I'm in Connecticut. Honey, listen.
Yep.
Do you actually think Miss Hilary Sanchez is leaving Connecticut?
Please don't. Please don't. We trying to get it together.
No, I'm in Connecticut. I'm actually going to be going out this weekend in New Haven.
Oh, really? I love New Haven. It's a little too crowded for my anxiety, but I do like New Haven.
You know, it's an inquiry. You already know. It's yes. All the college people will be there.
Right. I do love that part though, because it seems a little bit safe where the college areas are. Like the Insomnia Cookie, girl, I'll go there. But you know they're getting one in Hartford on Asylum Avenue, just to let you know.
Really?
Yes.
Have you eaten at Mama May's?
No, but I've been to the Indian place out there. I was not a fan. I was not a fan.
Well, you know.
Oh my God, I'm so excited I got to speak to you. This is crazy.
I'm going to follow you before you go down. I didn't know that you were from Connecticut. Wait, somebody says I have family in
Waterbury.
Waterbury.
Yeah, that's Waterbury. You got family in Waterbury. My wife works in Waterbury sometime, but I don't usually go to Waterbury. Like I said, I'll be in East Hartford. I've been here since high school, and I'm 35 years old now, so I've been here for a while. Originally from Hartford, though, so either way, I'm from Connecticut, born and raised.
Wow. So yes. I'm gonna follow you.
Thank you.
You gotta follow me.
And listen, don't be letting these people take you out your character, because
listen,
this
I'm completely different from 2022. a lot. It's called growth, right?
Yes, it is.
It's called
And you know what?
growth.
I'm happy for you because I know you left because you needed to go get your mental health together. And I'm happy that you came back stronger for real. And
Yeah.
you know what?
And
That's a good definition of what women need to do. When it's too much for you, take a break and then come back when you're ready.
and you know, you have to get things, and I knew if I didn't, I knew that, you know, my marriage would be in shambles even
Yep.
worse. So God is good, and
All the time.
you know, look, just I don't have to say nothing, just watch my face. I followed you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Oh, I'm glad to see Connecticut in the
Yes,
house.
Connecticut in the house.
All right, Connecticut. Thank you so much. Please don't be a stranger.
I won't.
Followed you.
Just kick me out of here because I don't know how to leave.
Okay.
Bye. Good
Well,
night.
she was a pleasant guest. You guys tapped the screen. Hello, Miss Duchess. Hello. So, who was the person in the comments? I was looking down. Who has family in Waterbury? Who said that? Are they still in here? That's interesting. Oh, you? Oh, okay. Interesting. Are you from Connecticut, or you just have family in Connecticut? Are you from Connecticut?
I'm also great. It's actually quite interesting. Why finish?
Hello, welcome in.
Hi, Miss Hilary. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I just wanted to come on here because I just wanted to let you know that I 100% support you. Everything you have said about Mr. Joe is completely true. I think that she's just hating and mad because you have a real marriage. She does not. You're beautiful. He is not. And, you know, you have real supporter fans and he does not. So I wish that the attraction or the energy would stay off of him and slow Charles and come on you. Like, where are the brand deals for you that we can get you with people's having?
I don't want no brand deals. I just want to be able to come on here, have conversations with y'all. I don't want the brand deal. I don't. Back in 2022, maybe, not now. I'm focusing. I have a whole nother life now.
Yeah, you have a real life doing real things, making real moves, not putting rocks and seasonings and saying that it's seasonings. That looks like rocks. That's what it looks like. And if you see the reviews, no one yet has said anything good about it. And not to, you know, just hate on her, on him or anything like that. But if you were actually real and a genuine person, you would attract the right crowd. You're getting attacked every day on social media. So I love your lives. I'm happy that you finally came back because I've been looking, waiting for you to come back. I'm happy that you came back. You took the break that you needed. And, you know, I support you.
And I thank you very much. I appreciate those kind, wonderful words. You are always welcome on my platform. I thank you. And I'm going to say this also. Thank you for coming up. Let me say this. I think it's important for everybody. Whatever you are going through, you may be going through things mentally or psychologically or even in relationships. 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 To learn how to love myself because I needed that. And that's why you see I'm not unhinged. I can read and I can eat people up and things, but it's nothing like it was in 2022 because I understand the assignment. It's called growth, accountability, things like that. That's something that Joe Diddy, hopefully one day he will understand that you can't bite the hand that feeds you. You cannot bite the hand that feeds you. And I'll tell you that women in particularly Hispanic and African American women will make you and break you on this app. I'm telling you, if you don't know this, African American women and Hispanic women can make or break you on this app. If it's your desire to have thousands of viewers and a following and things like that. So you need to understand your audience, and you need to understand not to offend your audience and be there for them. You guys tap the screen for me. Let's get to 10K. We're going to have a conversation tonight. Just us and this little 100 people. And trust me, trust and believe when I tell you, y'all, I want to know why Joe Diddy isn't talking about these cases. Mia, why is he not talking? He had all this mouth, but why isn't Joe Diddy talking now that those sheriffs have went over there and gave him that paper? Why isn't he talking? Why hasn't he went live to discuss that? I don't understand. I just don't understand. Let's see. I have another guest in the box. Mia laughing. Hello, welcome into the Miss Hilary Sanchez show. How are you? Hello? 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 Hmm. Interesting. Your connection keeps messing up. Oh, okay. So it's literally a funny situation for me. It's a funny situation for me because Joe Diddy had all this mouth. Joe Diddy said that he was suing Miss Hilary Sanchez. He said he was suing Miss Hilary Sanchez. And what's interesting to me is that you guys tap the screen. Let's get to 10K. Power tap for Miss Hilary. Tap, tap, tap. Let's get the taps up. The interesting thing is that, y'all hold on a second. Hold on a second, y'all. But yeah, so it's interesting to me why Joe Diddy made those threats about suing me. Remember when he said he was going to sue Miss Hilary Sanchez? But how is it that I sued you first? I gave him 3 months to sue me. I gave him 3 months to sue me, and he didn't do it. Have you guys seen Joe Diddy? Has he been doing any more freak offs in the jacuzzi with Charleston Chew? Have y'all seen anything? Come up, Miss Chrissy. Miss Hilary Sanchez is summoning you. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, honey. Over here feeling myself.
Oh, honey, you look beautiful tonight.
Loving
As
myself.
always, you got me over here shimmying. I got food in my mouth, so I'm gonna hurry up and eat this.
Okay.
But I wanted to tell you, Carlos dropped a lot of bombs the other day. I went back and I watched the entire thing.
You
And
went
he
on.
said something that I've been pondering on. Rolandis is really underdeveloped and he needs Joe. And Joe knows that. And that's why he keeps him under his thumb. Because if Rolandis is left to the wolves, he's telling it all. He is telling everything that goes on. One day, we will have a surviving Joe from Rolandis. And he gonna tell it all.
And I think that's why he has to have him around him 24/7.
24/7. Yep. And earlier when you said, why hasn't Joe said anything about the lawsuit? I think he put himself on a gag order. He said, I'm not saying nothing about Hilary. I don't want to get sued no more. But you know what, Hilary, what I was thinking about? I wonder, could you use the fact that you have proof that he was served days before, well enough time to have time to make preservations to go to Connecticut to be in court. He lied on a court document.
Don't think for a minute that I haven't filed the proper motions about that.
Oh, I know you have.
Because now you tell me if this is not a reasonable amount of time. He was served on September. Joe Diddy was served on September 29th. September 29th, and he had to be at court on September 7th. Tell me that's not enough time.
That's 2 weeks. Let me tell you something. Sometimes when court documents go out, they get to you 2 weeks ahead of time. That is enough time for you to say, and especially with him representing himself, that self representation took me out. Big Joe can't even say community, let alone represent himself. And I guarantee you his mentor that's behind the scenes is going to leave him out to dry. And we know Joe didn't write those words, no. Right? I have a thought on who wrote those words. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep my alleged mouth shut on that one. But I have a thought who somebody else in Alabama wrote those words. And it ain't nobody. He going to see the result of playing attorney. His results is going to be for the whole world to see. That's the only result he going to be going to here lately. You know, and I touched on this earlier. On my show. I said, was this man having communication? Because he used the word communication. He used the word communication, Joe Diddy did. And then he used the word results. Now, y'all tap the screen for Miss Hilary Sanchez. I don't see you tap, tap, tap. Okay, we talking about Joe Diddy. I need to see them taps going up. Now, as I say this, I need y'all to tap. I'm looking for the hearts to be going across my screen. Are y'all tapping? Okay. So Joe Diddy, Chrissy, has filled out this paperwork claiming he's going to self-represent himself. That's what it said.
In a state that he knows nothing about. But before I go there, what I have a question again, and the question is, why did Joe Diddy use the word communication and results in the same time frame? Did he get some type of communication and results of his own that was piercing on his mind? I don't understand why and how you could
get on here to make an apology to Jamaica, and you literally say resort as results and communication instead of community. I would like to apologize to the Jamaican community for the horrible things that I said. It was wrong of me. I apologize. It's unacceptable. I hope that you guys can forgive me one day. That is how you would apologize.
That's how you come humbly before the people.
Yes, that is accountability.
Yep.
But when you bring your silverback ass on here, making up excuses, and you justifying and you rationalizing everything that you did and said, trying to minimize what you said and did. When we understand what you said because it came out of your cocksucking mouth, we know what you said and we get it. See,
Now,
Joe Diddy forgets. Joe Diddy forgets about recordings.
Yep.
Joe Diddy forgets that things are being recorded. This live right now, people are in here screen recording it, and they will put it on their YouTubes and Facebooks. They do that. This is what they do. And you can't stop them. So what I'm trying to understand is why Joe Diddy couldn't even apologize the right type of way. Forget them not pronouncing the words correctly. He was not even being genuine. Tell me if I'm wrong, Chrissy.
There's not a sincere bone in his body, because even when somebody, an elected official or a celebrity or a real icon, makes a discouragement in comments on a real platform, they even have to have it written out. I would have rather him read from a script than just say the stuff that he said, because we all know before the internet caught a hold to what he said about Jamaican food, he didn't say anything about, oh, I was only on the result and I couldn't leave. But then you said you went to KFC. Which is it? Your car wasn't working. You went to KFC, but you couldn't use your card. You was only eating the food on the result. Keep up with your lies.
And that's what I try to tell you. Joe Diddy is a walking contradiction. One minute he's at KFC and it didn't even taste like KFC. And the next minute he couldn't leave the resort. This is what I'm talking about. He's a walking contradiction. That's what he does.
You can take the man off Brokeback Mountain, but you can't take Brokeback Mountain out of the man. That is a backwoods country man, and he should not be allowed to leave the state of Alabama, because when you go to another culture and another country, nothing is going to taste America. If you wanted American food, you should have stayed your butt in America. You have no right to insult anyone else's food when you cook jail slop.
And let's not forget, let's not forget, and I'm going to say it tonight. You couldn't pay Joe Diddy to come at Miss Hilary Sanchez. See, I got the time for him. He understands I can stand toe to toe with Big Joe. And he understands that. And that's why he bows down to me. He don't got all that mouth for me.
Nope. There's a saying in the attorney world: the man who is his own lawyer has a fool for a client. And when he shows up to court, that judge is gonna look at him and be like, this gotta be a joke. Cause I wish Joe would come in there with a tux on, looking presentable, but you know he gonna have them slides on, them shorts, and a Pokemon shirt, and that chain that says Netta.
Now, let me tell you this. Do you know he's already failed to respond within the time frame to answer? He hasn't even filed his formal answer.
Oh Lord. As someone that works in the court system, that judge can choose whether or not they want to give you leniency and accept anything after the deadline.
And I'll tell you, Joe Diddy is going to be arrested. There's no question in my mind. The question is, the only question I have is when? How is he going to continue to try to delay? You know how people do, they delay the delay, right? And then I already clocked it for TikTok. I told TikTok that there are a couple different actions on here. Here we go with these fake people on here. Don't even address
honey, we done heard that word before. Thank you. Let's keep moving.
And so we literally will do what needs to be done. But see, what I was trying to explain to him was I was giving him heads up. I said, you're coming to court for one issue, but what you don't understand, Joe Diddy, is that the state of Connecticut has probable cause to arrest you for that.
That's why we wanted to do it over Zoom.
And that's not happening.
How you gonna suggest to the courts how you want to represent yourself in court? That's not how that works, baby. That's not how that works. And we're not in COVID times anymore, so the judge does not have to grant you a Zoom entry.
He will have his ass in court.
They better sell them chains to get them plane tickets.
And you know,
You're speechless.
you know, were you on the show when I showed the body cam footage of him at his door?
Yeah. Remember, I saw it on your story and I inboxed you.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you saved me. Yes, you did. You saved me, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You know what they would have said.
Yep.
Yeah, you definitely saved me. But yeah, I mean, if y'all get to see the video, if I play the body cam footage, y'all literally would be falling out if you could hear what Joe Diddy was saying to deputies, to sheriff deputies.
Give us a reenactment.
I don't have time for this.
You cannot dodge a serving of legal documents. You cannot. There's no way. He said, "I don't have time for this."
And he had poor Charles, poor Radio, was scared to come to the door.
His wife, his stay-at-home wife,
had to scare this. The wife wouldn't even come to the door.
Can you imagine if they would have served him at the Hispanic baby shower?
Don't think I didn't try. But I didn't know where he was. You know, I didn't know if it was on the same property, right? So I didn't want to send them on a goose
Right,
chase.
right. Yes. They would have cut that music so fast. He really would have been an icon.
And you know, and this is what I tell y'all about Joe Diddy. When Joe Diddy says that he is, you know, he is got all this money and he's a thousandaire and he got this and he got that, then why is it that you don't have the best legal representation that Connecticut could buy? I mean,
He wouldn't even listen. When you are an icon, you have an attorney on retainer. And when I heard Carlos say he wouldn't even put up the money, why would you not put up the money to protect your brand?
well, let me tell you this. We're gonna find out how much money Joe Diddy got because it's called discovery. In a lawsuit, when you sue, you get to discover facts about each person. And I will get to discover how he will be able to pay a judgment. I will get to see that. And you know y'all will.
Somebody said he didn't even have a credit card for Jamaica. Let me respectfully speak to Mia as well. Good afternoon, Mia. How you doing?
Hello, Mia.
Hey y'all.
That's what I wanted to clock earlier. First of all, when you leave out the country, you should always have some type of a credit card because if anything happens, if somebody hacks your card, your credit card has insurance to protect you. Who goes on vacation with their debit card?
First of all, let me clock this, okay? Because I don't believe for 1 minute that this damn man got a real debit card, and this is why. If you're saying your card wasn't linked and it wasn't that, you would have known to put travel stuff on your card. And a debit card is not a credit card. So where is your credit card at, Big Bank Diddy? Why didn't you pull out your credit? Please tell me you just don't have that PayPal card that they paid these creators to have these PayPal cards. You and radio ain't got real bank accounts? You can't tell me that this person that everybody is jealous of that got more money than the law allows to go out of the country, and you got one card and your other one got one that didn't work. Let me give you guys a history lesson. Y'all remember at the BET Awards when I told y'all that he got detained? They were detained. And remember, they were detained for non-payment of a bill. Are you telling me everywhere you icons travel, y'all have problems with your cards? Please tell me that's not true. I mean, you had Big Charleston Chew standing up there next to Johnny Chain with that, and I could only imagine what Johnny Chain thought about him when he looked over and seen that damn necklace, that damn tarnished thing around his neck. I could only imagine what Johnny Chain thought of Dang or whatever his name is, thought about Charles when he came over to get a photo opportunity with him. But these are people who took a government food stamp card, and I wish I could get them, a government food stamp card, and put it in the ATM like he could get cash off of it. Po Charles, did they not tell you, do you get benefits on it where you can get cash off? Or was you trying to convert the food stamps into cash? I need answers. I need answers. Mia, how are you, sweetie?
Hey, I'm good, and you?
I'm doing fine.
I really just wanted to say, like, it's like 1 minute, Joe again on social media, and talk about how people attack him and bash and all that, right? But why do you keep bothering people? Them Jamaican people wasn't bothering him. Why did, like, for what? And I'm glad they're dragging them. And I'm glad they're sticking together. Because them people ain't said nothing to you. They can cook better than you. Let's start there. Their food tastes bad. I don't know what the food. You could just look at the food and tell that the food is disgusting. But I don't understand that. Them people wasn't bothering him. Wasn't nobody bothering him. So like what's the excuse now? And then all these people on TikTok trying to take up for Joe. That's just like when did y'all see the video of the girl? I don't know where they were, but they were somewhere. And Joe was sitting there and those toes were disgusting, okay? And then Charles is 2 seats down. Like he's not even with you.
The DMV, they were at the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Okay. So why is y'all there together, but y'all didn't look like y'all were together? The only reason we knew y'all were together because we know what both of y'all look like.
Yes,
And we
it looked like two homeboys sitting down. That's what two college dudes would do. You got two homeboys that would go to a location or a spot, right? You got two homeboys and then want to sit beside each other or a chair between them. So they always have a chair between them, like two homeboys. That's what is given to me.
Right. But my thing is like, y'all sit up here and y'all front and Joe, oh, nobody can take Charles and Charles ain't going nowhere. It don't even look like Charles is with you. Let's clock that.
Right.
Everywhere y'all go. Charles sitting there 2 seats down. This girl, you and this girl are exchanging words. Charles ain't said one word. He in his phone probably messaging some girl. Like he ain't even with you. But the girl sitting up here telling you, like, do you know me? The girl said something like, you got my page taken. Why every time somebody come, and I've counted at least 20 something people that said that Joe will report their page, get their page taken down. Why are you surprised when people say that? If I seen Joe in person, number one, I'm going to be terrified. Number two, yeah, I'm not about to be smiling at you and doing all that. And you reported my page and got my page taken down. Why do you expect people to see you in public and greet you with a smile or a hug? Or why do you expect people to like you with the ignorance that you spew?
And let me elaborate on that. Do not be under any illusion, TikTok. Joe Diddy and his bots are the ones going out attacking people's pages. Joe Diddy is spearheading this on the back end through these group chats. They all are working together. See, they used to be really strategic what they would do. And let me break this down for y'all. Let me clock this. So they would come into my lives and they would do what I call a setup. They would call a setup. They would set up a word, a sentence to me. And then they would try to trigger me to respond in a way that would violate community guidelines. Then those bots and Joe will go to multiple reporting. Report. And that's what they would do to get people's pages down. Now, I contacted TikTok legal department. I contacted TikTok legal department and I told them that my platform is under attack. I literally had to block 3,000 people on my page, who was Joe Bots and Joe himself. So I clearly understand. And if y'all notice, they can't get my pages. And why? Because I took the proper precautions. There were certain words they would put up to get you triggered. And when you go off, as you going off, they're all mass reporting your live to get you down for 7 days, to get a strike against your account.
Hilary, I have a genuine question.
Yes.
With all of the stuff that Joe says and him not being able to articulate his words as well as you do, why isn't his stuff being reported?
You know, this is a man, that's a very good question. This is a man who got on this app. This is a man that's got on this app that you literally said you want black women and their children to go to sleep and go be dead. And that was very hateful that he said that. And his life was never, nothing happened to it. Nothing never happened to this man's life. He could get on here and do what he wants to do, and it seems like with very few consequences. Now, what I know is that Joe Diddy, they realize they want to strike your page so that when it would come up under review, they could take your page from you. But it's in your delivery. It's what you say. It's how you say it. You have to learn how to use certain words in a short period of span and go from that to, from this to that. And so that is what I know. And we know this. We know that Joe Diddy is on these pages, on these bot pages, on these fake pages in our lives. He can't help himself. He cannot help himself. But one thing that I want to ask Chrissy and Mia is this. Why is it that he don't have that energy and smoke for Miss Hilary Sanchez? I'm going to be quiet.
Cause Joe don't want it with you. To be honest, Joe's not intelligent enough to even sit down and have a one-on-one conversation. What did he say to the Jamaican communication? Is that what he said?
That was the result of what he said.
Well, that'll tell you right there. He doesn't have the intelligence to come and have a conversation with you at all.
But ladies, this is what I said to y'all. Leave my sisters along with their children. Let them raise them. Come after me. Come to Miss Hilary Sanchez and let me deal with you. I got the time. I got the energy. I can meet your energy. And then he want to run around here trying to act like he's a victim. Like he's a victim. Everybody is attacking him. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. And I don't know what role the two of them are playing. I'm literally confused. 1 minute, Charles is the man. The next minute is Joe. The next minute is, I don't know what are they doing? 1 minute he got a Budweiser in his hand. The next minute he got a Bud Light in his hand. 1 minute he wearing a sweatsuit with his shrimp poking out, and the next minute he don't. What is going on? I need answers.
You know what I noticed when Charles was on
They feel
live
like
with
he's done. Go ahead, Mia.
I think it was Little Duval when Charles was on live with Little Duval. And they were going back and forth, and Charles was like, "Oh, you in Atlanta? Oh, we gonna be in Atlanta later today or tomorrow or something. We leaving." And he said, "I don't know what you're telling me for. Ain't like we about to hang out."
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I got from that though, because like I've never seen Charles hang with like other men. Like, do you have like any friends? You need a social life outside of Joe. You need that. Anybody needs that. But I mean, we know that Joe controls it, right? But anyway, what you said earlier, I remember from the first live, you were saying Charles is not a victim. You don't see Charles as a victim anymore. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm at the point now where I don't see him as a victim no more either. I see him as a volunteer. You are volunteering for all that. You are becoming Joe Jr. by sitting up here saying the things that you were saying. Because people, they inbox me and tell me, oh, Charles said this, or send me a video with him saying certain things about people. How they sat in that live and tried to talk about me and you, and we wasn't even bothering them. And they streamed our live in their live. We wasn't even bothering your ugly people.
And he had do y'all, and let me say this, somebody said, why would he leave his best friend? It makes no sense. Yes, they're Bonnie and Clyde. They're in my opinion, they're Bonnie and Clyde. And you know, Joe Diddy had the audacity to get on here and call Miss Hilary Sanchez ugly and Mia ugly. They did that watching our live stream, broadcasting our live stream. These two are Bonnie and Clyde. They work together. They know what they're doing. They were scamming his job. They were scamming Charles' job with these fake doctor's notes. And Carlos said it perfectly. He didn't have to say it because I already know. I know the facts. And if y'all remember the interview with Carlos, somebody posed a question in the live about the doctor's note. And Carlos said that I keep seeing the question about the doctor's note, and I've been not trying to address it. I knew as the person who was interviewing Carlos, I already knew the legal stuff about that. So I wasn't going to even ask him to answer that question because I already know the answer to it. I already know what has transpired. So that's why Joe Diddy thinks that he can get away with highway robbery on this app, play a victim, everybody picking on him the way he looked and this, but he's calling people ugly. He's throwing a brick and hiding his hand. And I said it yesterday. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I can wait.
When I said it yesterday, this should never be coming out of Joe's mouth. It shouldn't even be in his vocabulary to call anybody ugly. You should never do that as a man, okay? And I told him he makes for an ugly ass man and even an uglier ass woman, whatever he call himself when he gets in that character of Netta or whatever he think he got.
Do y'all remember a few years ago? There was this lady. She was a Caucasian lady. Her name was Rachel Doziel, and she was she was passing as an African American woman. She was the head of the NAACP in her town, and nobody.
Me too.
That is exactly what Joe is doing. He is transitioning in front of our face. Netta is no longer a character. Netta is who he is trying to consume. That is exactly why he has no respect for us as Black women, because he really does think that he is one. If this was a character, Why did he go and get, and you know, there's something Carlos said the other day. He said that, yeah, Rolanda's be looking at the women's butts. What did Joe go do? He got a fat transfer into his butt. Why does he wear nails 24/7 if this is just a character? Why have we
let
never
me say this? We and you know, we know that. We know that this person lies. He lies all the time. It's a very unfortunate thing. But I have a text message I have to address. With I have to get off live, but I will come back on later tonight, y'all. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you guys for the taps. Thank you guys for coming up in the box. Thank you for my guests. Thank you for the audience. I appreciate y'all. I'm pretty sure that somebody else is going live. I think DJ is going live, or somebody in here go live, and y'all go in there and y'all will pick it up. I thank you guys so much for coming in to listen to me. This was part 2, and we still ain't gotten into the case. I promise y'all we gonna get into the case. I don't want to be saying, oh, she said she was getting into the case, but this is what I will tell you. Joe Diddy has served a notice of appearance, as Chrissy said, and that he is going to represent himself in one procedure in court, one procedure going on. He want to represent himself in that way. So I don't know if he understands court procedures, but that's what he wants to do, and he's gonna get eaten up. Yes, he's representing himself, DJ. Yes. Yeah, he's already guilty, and this is the interesting thing. It's insane, and we'll get into the court pleadings. I know that Mia sees everything before y'all do, but it's just so interesting. But thank y'all. I need to get on this phone because somebody called. I have to reply. I don't make him wait. Go ahead, Mia.
Hurry up.
Yes. Okay. So I will see y'all later. Thank you again. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Mia. Okay. Thank you, audience. Thank you for the taps. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate that you guys know that I understand the assignment. And I don't give a damn who don't like what I do, because I'm doing the right thing. I'm an advocate, and I'm advocating for African American women and their children. And this man is no victim. This man is no victim. He's a whole man. He can handle his own situations. Okay? But Hurricane Hilary will deal with him. Trust me. We're going to deal with him. So hopefully you guys will tune in. I think DJ may be going live. Okay, you guys, I'll see ya. Gotta go.
See you.
Get y'all to power tap the screen for Miss Hilary Sanchez. Tap the screen. Boy. Let me tell you guys something. While you're tapping the screen, I'm going to do what I need to do. So let me tell y'all. Joe Diddy is going to be in a world of trouble within the next 7 to 12 days. And I think I should give you guys a little bit of hints and things like that. Give y'all some little hints on some things, some very unpleasant legal things that are going to be going on with him. He literally, hello, Duchess, hey, hello, Jamaica. I literally, have been doing a lot of things. A lot of things you guys already know is going on with Joe Diddy legally with me, civilly and criminally. He literally, much love from Virginia. Hello, much love back, right back at you. Y'all just tap the screen. I have a lot to process, and I'm on early, but it's a lot to process, and but it definitely needs to be had. Now, was anybody in this room that is here now was in the room when Carlos, Joe Diddy's former manager, Carlos, was anybody in here when I did that second interview with him the other day? Was anybody here? Okay. Carlos has given us a very, very, very nice blueprint of Joe Diddy. Now, what I want to mention at the onset is that Joe Diddy said, Carlos said that Joe Diddy would call him every morning at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. he would call him for absolutely nothing. For nothing at all. He said he would just call him and it would be about nothing. Now, does Carlos strike you to be someone who just makes stuff up? I will tell you absolutely not. Carlos is very credible. And who knows him better? Who knows Joe Diddy better than Carlos, who worked with him hands in and hands out? And we can look at how Hurricane Hilary brought down that Joe and leveled him out. Now that he understands that you cannot do the things you do, and he's still doing things. He's still being discriminatory against countries and cultures, and he still has diarrhea at the mouth. Joe Diddy still has diarrhea at the mouth. Thank you for the gifts, Mia. And I'll tell you that the people who defend him, the people who chooses to defend this man, Miss Hilary Sanchez will make no distinction between the perpetrator who said it and the people who support him. I'm not going to make any distinctions between the two. Because when you got somebody who literally does the things that he did and attacking people, women, and just doing whatever he wants to do, and thinks that he can come and sit down, y'all tap the screen, thinks that he can come and sit down and apologize. No genuine apology about anything. Nothing genuine at all. Nothing genuine at all. I mean, absolutely at all. And I really try to have an understanding, of someone's mindset like that, who goes in and has absolutely no disregard for anybody's feelings but his own. Joe Diddy is obsessed with making money. That's what he is obsessed with doing. And he doesn't care who he throws under the carpet. He's using his supporters. He's using his supporters. He don't give a damn about his supporters. He's just using them. And he sets up these things. He sets up these things saying, oh, they support me. Oh, they this, oh, they that. While he's dry begging. While he's dry begging, and I'll give you an example. He was at that baby shower and they made a statement about put your Cash App up. Here's the Cash App. You know, why would you do that? Why is it anybody's place to give these people money when you literally claim to be a thousandaire? You claim to have money like the lottery numbers. That's what you claim to have. And it's so interesting to me that if you have that, why didn't you take your ass over there and give them a check? Why didn't you give them money? Why didn't you go and do your big one over there? You were sitting up there drinking and eating their damn food. So why weren't you over there doing the things? See, you don't do things and ask your supporters to do things that you wouldn't do yourself. You have to lead the way, Joe. You have to be the one to lead the way in what is going on. But you don't. You don't, because you don't think anything applies to you. The rules don't apply to you. So Miss Hilary Sanchez is going to go through and continuously do interviews about people who you know, who knows you firsthand, who has had dealings with you. And we're going to unravel you in ways that you never thought it could be. Now, you may be very shocked at some of the guests who Miss Hilary Sanchez is going to have on her show, calling Surviving Joe Diddy. And we're going to go through a number of different people who have interacted with Joe Diddy and that have had some experiences with him that can help people understand what we are dealing with. And please understand something very clearly from me. Joe Diddy is not a victim at all. He's not a victim. He's not kind of a victim. For some reason, he wants to make it seem like the Miss Hilary Sanchez show bashes him. I'm not bashing him. I raise his awareness when he disrespects women, African American women, and their children, wishing death and things against women. I will stay on your neck about that. You get no free passes with me, Joe Diddy. You get no free passes. And see, what's so interesting to me is that you have all this energy, Joe Diddy, to go on everyone's show and address them. But you don't ever have that energy for Miss Hilary Sanchez. You never have come over and put your ass in this box so I could teach you a couple things or two so that you probably could learn a few things. But see, that is how I understand you. I understand. I know that Miss Hilary Sanchez intimidates you. I know that. I know you know. I'm the queen. I'm the queen. You are beneath me. And that's why you can't handle me. That's why you let your other people try to deal with Miss Hilary Sanchez. But you go and you deal with other people You go and you deal with other people, but you don't come to deal with Miss Hilary Sanchez on her show. I would even go on your show. I would even go on your page. Now, but you are going to be very shocked when we start to unravel you in a series, and the special guest from Ohio to Alabama to people who you have lied to, tried to silence them, taking their pages down, and then lying like you. You like to throw bricks, Joe Diddy, and hide your hand. You like to throw bricks and hide your hand. And you will sit up and you will lie straight to your supporters. You didn't say this and you didn't say that. And then the people play you back the recordings where you said it. And what do? You remain completely silent. That's what you do. You remain completely silent. You guys tap the screen for Miss Hilary. Tap, tap, tap. Y'all want me on? Let's tappy, tappy, tap. All I ask is for taps. I don't ask for gifts, no cash apps. Y'all sitting there listening? Could y'all just tap the screen for Miss Hilary? I would appreciate it. Thank you. And so what I need y'all to understand is this. Charles is no longer a victim to me. Charles is no longer a victim to me. Have y'all noticed how quiet Joe Diddy has gotten when it comes to, he won't even mention Miss Hilary Sanchez's name anymore? Have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed how Joe Diddy won't mention me? I challenge y'all, when he goes live to do his cooking show and you go over there, if y'all be in there, y'all go over there and say, get him to talk about me. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, what has Joe Diddy accomplished on this app? How has he changed anybody for the better? What has he done? What has he done? What is he doing? Everything that he does is geared around making that money so he can pay them bills, because y'all heard it straight out of his mouth that he used to be on SSI. He used to be on food stamps. And we got it stopped. Cut off and stopped. But why didn't you do that on your own? Why were you taking advantage of the system? And what we know for a fact is Joe Diddy and Charles literally had a meeting of the mind. They had a meeting of the mind, and they made up this story to where they contacted someone to concoct fake doctor's notes. Fake, fraudulent doctor's notes. And Joe Diddy cannot challenge what I'm going to say, which is, you have admitted. Thank you. I'm glad you noticed the Gucci's. These are actually real Gucci's. These are actually real Gucci's, okay? They're not out of the swap meet. They came in a black box with Gucci and its own little card. Thank you for noticing. Now, let me say this. Joe Diddy in 2024, literally admitted without being asked, this man got on social media and confessed to felonies. Him and Charles confessed to felonies. Now, can somebody please make me understand how it's okay for someone so big to be this big content creator and have all this stuff he claims he has, to get on here and say, yeah, we paid for fake doctor's notes that was fraudulent, and Charles got his ass fired. He got fired from that job after 5 years. But is it okay? But this is a man who got on here talking about someone's past from 15 to 25 years ago, when these two clowns are committing felonies in 2024. Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense to me. They are both equally responsible for these criminal acts that they confess to, including Charles. Don't leave him out. He is the one who literally took that to his employer, and he literally submitted those documents to his employer, and they opened up an investigation and they fired him. And the only reason that TikTok knew that he was fired was because Carlos let it out the bag. But before Carlos let it out the bag, Miss Hilary Sanchez had told everybody that Charles was not working and that Charles was receiving food stamps, and everybody said, no, he's not, he's his welder, and they attacked me and called me liars, and it never happened. And then come to find out, he had been fired the whole time. Now, could you imagine, you guys, y'all tap the screen, could you imagine Joe Diddy if he was the one typing them fake doctor's notes and he can't even say resort? Could you only imagine what that doctor's note looked like if he couldn't even say resort? He was saying results. The results. I was staying at the results. And at the results, we lost our card, and it couldn't, our results, hello Gabe, our results, we couldn't do the things that we wanted to do because our cards were messed up, and we didn't. And listen how convenient this is. I want y'all to listen how convenient this is. It was not until Joe Diddy said that it was the day before they were getting ready to leave the results, when he was going to leave the results, that they got in contact with the bank, and then they got their cars back to working. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Now, if you are in another country, tell me that you don't have the sense to know that you're going to call the bank to tell them that you're going to be traveling outside of the United States so they can put a travel advisory on your account. And even if you didn't do that, he could have called the 800 number and had them unlock the cards or call fraud prevention. You know how it is when they block your card. This man gets up on here lying through his damn teeth And then we know didn't have no money. He didn't have no money. So it was convenient for him to basically say, we couldn't access our cards because we were out of town. We couldn't do anything because our cards were locked and they were blocked. But it was the same song and dance at LA. It was the same song and dance at LA. When you go, these ballers going out, eating at McDonald's, and then coming back making fun of people who actually do eat at McDonald's. And this is what Joe Diddy said. I can't believe that we broke down and went and ate McDonald's, Charles. I can't believe we broke down and ate McDonald's. Just like that's something beneath them to do. That's something beneath them to do, is to go and eat at McDonald's. You remember that? And then we took it a step further. Thank you for the gifts. And we took it a step further. Then he took his ass on over there to Pinky's, whatever this was, a hot dog place with hot dogs and bacon and all this stuff on there, and acting like he couldn't hold that hot dog with his big ass hands. Acting like he couldn't hold that hot dog with his big ass hands to eat that hot dog, and acting like he couldn't hold it in all of this. These are the types of things that this man does on this app. It's insane to me. And then we get into the lies, the deception. I don't know this person. I don't know that person. The things that he does on here. Joe Diddy knew exactly who that lady was at the driver's license place. He knew who she was. He knew who she was, but he got all that smoke for them. He got all that smoke for them, but he remains quiet as a church house mouse for Miss Hilary Sanchez. For little Hurricane Hilary. Charles, Charles, your lunch is ready. I only cook for you. Charles, your bumps are ready. And I got your dessert too. This is for my haters that's coming for me. Back off, Miss Netta. You don't want this disease. I'm tired of these haters picking on me. Charles, Charles. So I literally go through these things and I'm just like, wow, is this man really think that he's the it person? Like everybody has to be so jealous of him. What are we jealous of? What are we jealous of when it comes to Joe Diddy? We're not interested in them freak-offs. Our spouses are not telling us to get off of them on live. Our spouses are not telling us to get off of them on live. We are not going into public places sitting 1 to 2 chairs from each other. That's not what loving couples do. When you are married, fresh off your honeymoon, y'all tap the screen, you fresh off your honeymoon, and you're sitting close together. You sitting close together, and I know that Joe Diddy had to go get a coloring book to give to Charles so that he could take his pre-test with, because some places they just giving you coloring books if you can't read the certain things in certain books and comprehend certain things. So they giving people coloring books, and you color in the spot that's right, how fast you go on the freeway, you color in that speed limit, you stop so many feet behind the bus when the bus lights is flashing. So I'm pretty sure that he kept himself occupied. I thank you for the tips, you guys. Thank you for the gifts. Color by number. And then this man, if y'all look at that video that he was in that driver's license place, and y'all look at that video and you see that man was looking straight down at that phone, and then he was looking directly at that woman at the same time. That man was doing what he was doing on that phone and looking at that woman at the same time, just like I'm looking at this screen. And you couldn't tell the difference that he wasn't engaging with both people. You just couldn't. And he keeps on trying to push this kitty litter. I'm not interested in kitty litter. I don't want it. I'm not interested in kitty litter, especially anything that that person has to do with. I'm not interested. I don't want to be chewing on rocks and sand that I can go to the beach right down the street and go play in the sand. I don't need to pay for sand to be sent to me to play with it. I can just go to the beach and scoop it up and put it in a cup and come play with sand if I want to. I don't want to do that. I don't want that in my kitchen. But this is the man who's on here that's basically doubled his prices to sell this stuff to his supporters. Try it out. Give me a good result. Give me a good this and a good that. Let me tell you something, sir. Let me tell you something, sir, ma'am. Your ass can't cook. So if you can't cook, why in the hell are you trying to put out seasonings? Seasonings is for people that know how to cook, who understands how to cook. You cannot cook. You can't even kind of cook. You can't kind of cook. The one thing I will tell you, and you half-ass messed that up, them crescent rolls. Why don't you ever do something from scratch, man? You act like you can't chop nothing up with them big damn hands. You can get them big ass Idaho potatoes and just chop them with your hand and then cook them. You ain't got to cut them. Just do a karate chop on them and cut them up and then put them in the pot and cook them. Why do you act like you can't make nothing? You can't cook. And making chili in 5 damn minutes. Who in the hell call they self making chili in 5 damn minutes? It makes no sense to me. And then you had the audacity to get your grown ass up here on this app and open up canned chicken, talking about you making dressing. You making chicken dressing. Let me just say this to you, sir, ma'am. I don't know who taught you how to cook. I don't know who taught you how to cook. But you got on here telling all of TikTok that you are going to teach women how to keep their man. Now, let me tell you a little secret, Joe Diddy, if you didn't know this. Y'all, if you go in y'all household, listen up. cooking that bullshit that man is on this app telling us to do and following what he doing, don't expect your husband to be around your boyfriend, because you're telling him you're no longer in love with him if you are emulating what that fool is doing on this internet every night when he go on here trying to cook. I'm telling you, the God, heaven knows truth. And Charles is just trained. Charles is just trained to say this. 10 out of, let me tell you, I've heard it so much, I know what Charles is going to say. It's good. 10 out of 10. Bomb.com. Is good. As he almost loses one of his veneers trying to bite into one of them gizzards that he cooked for him. I said this months ago, and I'm going to say it again today. If I was the relative of Joe Diddy's ex-husband, if I was a relative of Joe Diddy's ex-husband, I would petition the court to have his body exhumed so that they could do a full autopsy to find out what other cause of death contributed to that man's early demise. Because if you're cooking like that, I know exactly what was part of the problem. I know exactly what was part of the problem, because you put a 5-pound bag of sugar in Kool-Aid. You put a 5-pound bag of sugar in Kool-Aid, talking about that ain't a lot. You the only damn person I know putting sugar on broccoli. You put sugar on broccoli. And let's not forget the Velveeta cheese in your lasagna. That Velveeta cheese in the lasagna. In the time that you should be chopping up onions in your ground beef for your sauce, for your lasagna sauce or peppers, your ass don't put none of that in there. When you need to put the bell peppers and onions and stuff, you don't do it. You don't do it. But you come up with all these concoctions that nobody else has heard of. You need your own cooking show, Joe Diddy. You need your own cooking show. But I'm jealous of you. We all jealous of you. You need your own cooking show. The ratings would go through the roof because people would not believe their very eyes. Their very eyes. Yes, he put Velveeta cheese in lasagna. Yes. Yes, he did. Joe Diddy did that. Absolutely, he did it. And then he had the audacity to sit up and tell people they mad and jealous because he can cook. Now, why is it that Joe Diddy asked for a continuance in my case? Why did Joe Diddy ask the judge for a continuance in the case? Does he not think that y'all not gonna know what's going on? Did he think that I wasn't gonna come on here and tell y'all what was going on? Since he all of a sudden got his foot in his mouth. And I want to know, who's the man in the relationship? I want to know this. Is it Charles or is it Joe? I'm going to tell y'all something. I believe it's Joe. Joe Diddy. Joe Diddy should be Joe Diddy, and Charles should be the character Miss Netta. He's submissive to Miss Netta, to Joe. He do whatever Joe tell him to do. he doing whatever he do with that shrimp with Joe. I don't know if Joe bending him over the couch or whatever they doing, if they swapping and reversing whatever these two men are doing. It's insane to me. It's insane. And I can't wrap my brain around it. I just can't. But what I do know is that this man has silenced himself when it comes to me. And I need to know, I need answers. I need answers why. I need to know why Joe Diddy don't have no steam for Miss Hilary Sanchez. He used to have it. He used to have all types of stuff to say about me and to me, and tell Hilary Sanchez this and tell Hilary Sanchez that. Where is all that energy at, Joe Diddy? I'm not a part of you and your woman's freak offs. And if you are being a true man, Joe Diddy, why don't you go out there and cut that grass? Stop having your girl go out there and sweating and cutting that grass. Why don't you go out there and do something like a man? You should be down there cutting down trees, paving that dirt road that you live on. Lay down some concrete down there. Pave that dirt road. You a man? And then let your wife go in there and do the laundry, and you go do all this other stuff, because the things you got her doing is just not right. It's not right. Y'all tap the screen. Let's get to 30K. Let's get to 30K. Hello, Lexi Mama. Yeah, it's nuts to me. And we know this. We know that Joe Diddy is jealous of Miss Hilary Sanchez. We know that, y'all. We know he jealous. He wishes he could get designer glasses. He wishes his skin was clear. He wishes a lot of things that he doesn't have. It's one thing to have a mind of your own. And it's another thing when you literally are on here doing the things that you need to do to advocate for women and women's rights and their children and all these other things that Joe Diddy on here doing. Hello, Mrs. Renee. Renee is in the house. Yeah, and it's literally insane to me, Miss Hilary Sanchez. It's really insane to me that this man is on here continuously acting like he is a victim. Everybody was picking with him. No, sir, ma'am. No, Joe Diddy. Yes, Renee, Joe Diddy trying to have freak offs with his husband. And his husband told him, Renee, get off me. Could you imagine you coming home from that long shift that you do at your managerial job that you do, and you go to touch your husband and he tells you to get off him? That is just insane to me. That let alone telling me to get off me, to get off me when you are literally on live. Miss Renee says, do they live in Virginia? I could have sworn I seen them down here. I will tell you something, Renee. They have been there. They have been there. They have been there. He don't live there, but they have been there. So you might have saw them, but they have been there. Absolutely, they've been there. They've been there before to visit. So I want to say this to y'all. When you realize, thank you for the gifts, when you realize that Joe Diddy gets on here lying, he'll do this. I want to sincerely apologize. I want to sincerely apologize. I didn't mean it the way y'all took it or the way it came out. I didn't mean it this way. I didn't mean it that way. You a lying damn man and the truth ain't in you. Just like my grandmama told me, she's 99 years old. She said, Hilary, you can never trust a cockeyed man because he'll lie to your face and you won't even know it. If his eyes can go straight when he's talking to you, he telling the truth. It was a fake apology. It was a fake apology. There was nothing genuine about it. Nothing at all. And he could have at least got on here and said the right words, like, for instance, resort. He could have said the right words, like, I apologize. I did say it. I said these things. I shouldn't have said it. I apologize. That's accepting accountability. Thank you for the gifts. That is, you're not having accountability when you get on here talking about, I didn't mean it this way. I didn't mean it that way. You took it the wrong way, or I didn't mean it the way it came out my mouth. That's not accountability, Joe Diddy. That's not. It's not an apology. And to say you apologizing to the Jamaican communication, you got your ass up on here and said you're apologizing to the Jamaican communication. Why would you not think before you speak? How about the Jamaican community? How about the Jamaican community, Joe Diddy? How about that? How about tell the truth and shame the devil? How about no excuses? I apologize. I accept responsibilities for my actions. I shouldn't have said it. I said it. I shouldn't have said it. If I offended somebody, I apologize and leave it alone. You can't do that. And why is it? Why is the results? You can't figure out the results. The results. What the hell is the results when you trying to talk about resorts? When you're talking about, we were staying at a resort and you talking about the results, the results, the results. It's insane to me. Are we talking about your results? Is that what you was trying to tell us? Were you hitting on something? Were you hitting on results for a reason that maybe I need to key in on? Do I need to hover around what you said about results? Because I'm confused. I'm confused how you are staying at the results unless you had just got some test results that you had seen, and you seen the test results, and the test results was fresh on your mind, and you seen the communication, because that's what you said, communication, and then you were talking about the results. So did you get some type of communication regarding results, and then you got on here talking about an apology, but the results and the communication was fresh on your mind? We need answers. We need answers, Joe Diddy. And I had Charles on my show, and it was so good to have him on the Miss Hilary Sanchez show the other night. And when I asked him this question, I said, so when Joe Diddy went in there to have that procedure done, why didn't you just tell us that they went in there to take that blockage out of you, that you was backed up and they needed to get all that bowel movement up out of you? Why you have to act like you was going in there to have all this stuff done and that wasn't even the procedure you was having done? You need to get on here and tell the truth. Just say, I went in there to have this all this bowel movement removed up out of me. I'm plugged up and they gonna relieve that for me. And because we know nothing else was done. There's nothing else done other than you putting on that bionic butt suit that you wear when you want to show off, but you don't put that butt suit on in that jacuzzi. You don't put it on in that jacuzzi. And I want to know why. You twisting and turning around all the time, showing us your backside every time in the kitchen, but when you in that bathing suit, you never turn your back to us. Have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed that? That Joe Diddy never turns his back to TikTok when he's live in a bathing suit. I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth. Go back and look at the videos if you think I'm joking. I'm telling you. But when he in that trailer cooking, you couldn't teach him. You couldn't stop him from running around, bending down at that stove, walking around stuck and scratching in his ball, sniffing his hand. And we barely want to see his ass standing up, let alone bending down, talking about he need to get it deflated. We don't want you to inflate it, let alone deflate it. For what? Who are you doing it for? What you ought to have been doing is trying out for the New York Yankees or the Miami Dolphins. You would have been successful. You may not have remembered the plays. All you needed to do was just stop people from going to the quarterback. You would have been a successful defensive person on the football field or the mascot. You could have been the mascot or a football player, and you would have been successful. Instead of you on here trying to put down black women, their children, wishing death on them and their children, and you think we gonna forget about that? Do you think we are going to forget about that? What you did, this is what you feel inside of you. This is what you feel inside of you. It's unreal to me. So, you guys, let me tell you this. Miss Hilary Sanchez is going to have a part 2 to this live, like I told y'all. I have to step off for 30 minutes, and I will be back. We will be back at 8:35 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back at 8:35 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for the gifts. Don't y'all miss it. 8:35, I'll be on time, Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for everything. The people that were in the guest box, come back at 8:35. Request to come up and I'll engage and talk to y'all too. I will see you guys back at 8:35.